I like to think that when an Emerson student graduates as a WLP major, they know how to write. That's a quote that I got from the Creative Arts Agency in Los Angeles, who had some interns of ours out there, and they called me up and said, we want to formalize an intern relationship with you because Emerson students know how to write. I think that's something we could really boast about. And the other thing is they know their field. If they're a poet and you mention a poet to them, they know the history of poetry and fiction and the novel. They're not just imitating a contemporary style. So knowing the field and knowing how to write from it, I think, are two qualities that our graduates have. We have a BA and a BFA, but the majority of the students are in the BFA program because they want to be writers. And I think they know that at an early age. I don't think there are any colleges where they can study such a wide array of forms: screenwriting, children's writing, young adult novel, picture book, short fiction, short fiction, personal essay, memoir, magazine writing. It's quite an impressive array. The main difference, I think, between our department and other departments across the country is that we're not an English department. We're a department of writing, literature, and publishing, three discrete areas. In our department, everyone who teaches there is also a practitioner. So if you take a course in writing the first novel, you're being taught by a novelist. If you study screenplay, you're talking with somebody who is a successful screenwriter. The riches of Emerson really are the riches of Cambridge and Boston because it's such a literary community. For a college this small, there are 3 literary magazines at the undergraduate level: the Emerson Review, Gangsters in Concrete, and Hyena, which is a magazine of humor. These students who run these are constantly looking for help: editors, screeners, and writers. A lot of places you go, they're closed off, run by a small group. These students have meetings, they come to the open houses and say, look, we want someone to join the editorial staff, someone's going to have to take this over in a couple of years. So it's very welcoming. I think that's another thing about these students. They're very embracing, they're not closed off, they're not closed-minded. Faculty spend a lot of time with students. They have long office hours, and the halls, if you walk up to the 10th floor and the 12th floor of 180, they're always bustling. They're standing outside, they're in the lounge. We're at readings with them. Due to the fact that we have publishing professionals teaching magazine writing, book publishing overview, that combined with an internship program gives our students a real vocational edge when they graduate. Years ago, we had a fellow from the University of Pittsburgh, the director of the University of Pittsburgh Press, came to the campus, and he said he had hired an Emerson student because that was the only student who had taken publishing classes. He had had 100 resumes looking for an opening in that press, which is a prestigious press in the university world, and he chose the Emerson student because that student had taken magazine publishing overview, book publishing overview, the role of the editor, those kind of classes. So I had a student, a senior, Jeff Anderson, 2 years ago. I took him as, he took me when he was a sophomore for a nonfiction class, and then I had him for senior writing project, and he was writing for Boston Magazine. He was an intern there, but he had small little pieces, a couple of paragraphs long. But by the time he graduated, he had a full-length article in the August magazine on driving a trolley around Boston. It was a very funny first-person narrative, which I think is quite an accomplishment for his resume.